What's going on, y'all? Nick here, coming to you with another video. So let's just get right into it, y'all. We have the title: When does the day or Sabbath start? Evening, morning, or midnight? Now, before some of you guys tune out because you're probably thinking that this is so elementary, I guarantee you that many, if not majority, my apologies, y'all. Am I coming in clear? Please let me know if I'm coming in clear, y'all. Please let me know. Y'all. Can you guys hear me? My fault about this. Can you guys hear me? Give me a 10 in the chat if you guys can see me. Yeah. Give me a 10 in the chat if you guys can see me. Let's put a 10. I'm waiting because this is actually quite important. All right. I see Hassan Lamar with the 10. And let me just give a shout out real quick. Hassan Lamar, bless you, my brother. Shebrew here in the house. Shalom, shalom. Yah's daughter Sheena, bless you, shalom. House of Styles, shalom, shalom to you. Do I got anybody else? All right, cool. So I see the tens. Now, again, I'm gonna do sorry for the recap. I'm gonna try to say it again, but let's just dive into it. Today's discussion is, when does the day or Sabbath start? Evening, morning, or midnight? Now, before people just tune out because they probably just like, man, this is elementary. I know this already. I guarantee you, majority of the quote unquote Hebrew community got it wrong. Majority of people in the world got it wrong. All right. So the burden of proof obviously is going to be on me. Bless you, brother Chris Briggs. Bless you, my brother. The burden of proof is going to be upon me to actually be able to explain why I'm making such an assertion. And I see true seekers with the morning. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So first, let's actually just establish the foundation, right? Majority of us, before we actually came to the truth, right, and you just going about the world, they would tell you that the day would start at midnight. All right, let's just easily debunk that. The day does not start at midnight. All right, it does not start at 12 o'clock a.m. as the world would assert. All right, there's no biblical foundation for that. It is not even logical. It's not logical. All right, so let's just debunk that real quick. That's easy. But then when coming to the quote unquote truth, correct me if I'm wrong, but majority of you probably heard, write in the chat if you guys agree, but majority of you probably heard that the evening and the morning is the first day, right? And therefore, because of that statement that was mentioned in Genesis, which we're going to go dive into in greater detail, but because of this, they would tell you that, oh, the day starts at evening, or rather when the sun would set, right? And I'm here to tell you that that's also wrong. So I actually agree with true seekers. The day starts at the morning, biblically. Now, again, the burden of proof would be upon me to actually prove it. So let's actually do it. And let me tell you guys something, right? There's going to be overwhelming evidence to what I'm about to show you, okay? Before I even dive even further, I want to give a quick shout out to brother Brandon Brown, who he made a Facebook post touching on this subject. And it's not until he made that Facebook post, it actually reminded me of a conversation that I had with my brother, my older brother, years ago, because he was the first person that presented to me that the day started in the morning time. And because I was just so, bigoted, I was so religious, I didn't want to even hear this man. I totally shunned him. And, coming out of certain religious organizations, obviously what you're going to do, you're going to read your Bible all over. You're going to undo a lot of the bad learning and teachings that you acquired over the years. And I had a much more open mind about the topic, right? So upon speaking to my older brother again, and he's laying this out for me, I'm just like, man, how in the world did I miss this? All right. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this, but let's actually just go into some foundations. All right. I'm going to list some definitions, just some basic definitions for you guys. All right, you guys. And hopefully you guys will be able to appreciate this. All right. So first, let's just go into what is the meaning of the word day. Now, I'm doing this for a reason. And you guys, check this out. We're going to go into the Strongs first. We're going to go to, or rather, I should say, we're going to go into the Strongs as well. But I just want to lay down some foundations of definitions because it's so critical and crucial to our understanding. All right. So you can see the word day is very simple. It says the interval of light between two successive nights, the time between sunrise and sunset. All right. It's that simple. Okay, cool. Now, when you go into the word night, and let me close this. When you go into the word night, on the other hand, it says the period of darkness between sunset and sunrise. You see, many people would assert, again, because of the verse where it says the evening and the morning is the first day, et cetera, many people would assert that the day therefore starts at night, or they would say evening. But that's just not the case. And I'm going to prove that. All right, now you have the word evening, and you can even see what it says here. Notice the definition of the word evening. It literally says the latter part of the day. I mean, this is so clear. Oh, Nick, but you're using English definitions. Okay, we're going to go into the Strongs as well. All right, you guys? But notice what it says. It says the latter part of the day, an early part of the night. Is that simple, you guys? All right. And then I'm going to go into the etymology. All right. This is etymology online, or etymology, excuse me. But this is pretty much the etymology of words, the origin of words. And you can see I put the word evening. When you go down, and it will show you when evening was used and how it's used. Look at that. It says evening, the end of day. The end of day, not the beginning of the day, you guys. It's the end. That's literally the origin of the word and how it's used. It's the end of day. All right. So let's actually go again. Let's go to some scripture now and show you guys, why this is even a conversation or a discussion to begin with, right? So this is Genesis 1, and let's actually read it together, all right? Again, it's about to pick up because now that I laid down the foundation of the definitions, this is going to really ramp up. And I promise you, every verse that I go through is going to be even that much more evident when the day actually starts. Okay. So check this out. In the beginning, Yah created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. Now, let me say this, right? Many people, they say, oh, you see, the darkness was there first. So that's why the night starts first. And you guys, listen to what I'm telling you. I want you guys to just think, just be a thinking people real quick, all right? Let me remove this just in case it's a distraction for you. If there's only darkness, is there time? please put it in the chat, y'all. If there's only darkness, does the concept of time exist? You see, because just because they say in the beginning, y'all created heaven and earth, and it was darkness was upon the earth and all this stuff, right? There was only darkness. So please, can you guys please put it in the chat? If there is only darkness, is there any concept of time? The answer is a no. The answer is an emphatic no. As a matter of fact, let me actually show you guys my screen real quick. I'm going to show you guys something that's very interesting, all right? Just to prove it to you. What is the earliest way of telling time? All right. Okay, now look at what I put, and I'm glad you guys. Maybe there's a delay. I was waiting, but notice what I believe your daughter Sheena put. No, nothing to differentiate. You're absolutely right. If there's only darkness, and I could have said the same thing in reverse. If there's only light, there's nothing to differentiate anything, right? You need the contrast of the day and night so that we can know that time is moving forward. Does that make sense? And Shibu mentioned that as well. No. Now, again, I'm going to prove it to you because as we were reading, let's go back to it. I typed in, what is the oldest way of telling time? And look at what it says. It says, the oldest known way of telling time is by using a sundial. You guys, this is so important for you guys to understand because, again, we got to be a very studious, intellectual people. You see, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. You see, the sun is actually moving throughout the course of the day. And depending on where the sun is moving, it will literally cast a shadow on the sundial. And that's the reason why they were able to tell time. You see, you cannot tell time in the darkness. You cannot tell time during the darkness, you guys. This is the reason why midnight is actually easy to debunk because how would they have even known to differentiate the different parts of the night? You see, that's a fairly new concept, you guys. All right, but let's just go back to the Genesis account. All right, so and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. And Yah said, let there be light, and there was light. And now I want you guys to understand something, Yah. The moment Yah spoke, this is the very first thing that the man Yah said. This is the very first thing he says. He says, let there be light. The moment that Yahweh said that was the existence of day. All right. And House of Lamar, you put, so is it sunrise to sunrise? The answer, matter of fact, throughout the course of the video, you're going to determine that. All right. It's going to be so evident. And Yah said, let there be light. So the moment that Yah said, let there be light, that was the existence of day, you guys. And I'm going to prove it. Why? And Yah saw the light, that it was good. And Yah divided the light from the darkness. And Yah called the light day. And the darkness he called night. Okay? Now, I want to stress out something before I go any further. Notice that the sun and the moon are created on the fourth day. We'll probably get there later on in the video. But the sun and the moon is created on the fourth day. In other words, the sun and the moon does not determine day and night. I just want you guys to understand that. Light and darkness determines day and night. I hope you guys are getting what I'm telling you. Again, I'm going to say it one more time because it's very important for us to understand. The sun and the moon does not determine day and night. It's the light and the darkness. And I'm going to give you a perfect example, right? I gave you guys the example of the conjunction, the moon, right? That's the period of time when you cannot even see the moon. Or you could call it the black moon, whatever you want to call it, right? There are periods of time where you cannot even see the moon in the sky, but clearly you know it's nighttime, right? Why? Because there's an overall darkness. Again, you do not need the sun and the moon to understand whether or not it's day or night. Okay, I know this sounds basic, but this is going to be so important for our understanding. And let me also stress out this too, right? From a biblical standpoint, notice the very first time the Most High institutes the word day. The day is closely associated with the light portion of the 24-hour cycle. You see, in today's society, we use the day interchangeably as in daytime, and then we have the concept of the 24-hour, and we say, oh, the day. But from a biblical standpoint, Yah separated the day from the night. And the day was when it was light outside, and the night was when there was darkness outside. Again, he makes a very clear distinction. And this is the reason why, this is just a kind of like a snippet. This is the reason why many times in the Bible, why you kept hearing them say 40 days and 40 nights. Or 3 days and 3 nights, he's going to be in the belly of the earth. Why do you think they kept saying that over and over? Why not just say 40 days? I mean, that's 40 24-hour cycles, right? No. Again, for the Hebrews, they understood that the day was totally different from the night. So that's so I know I'm getting kind of excited here, but let's actually get back to it, all right? Because now when you finish verse 5, it says, and Yah called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And now people hold on to this verse in particular, and they say, he told you, the evening comes first, and then it's the morning. You guys, that's not what it even means. Let's go back. What does evening mean? Evening is the latter part of the day, the early part of the night. That's all that evening means, y'all. Evening, the latter part of the day. Now, this is English, so they're talking about the 24-hour cycle. And the early part of the night. All right, you guys? That's all it means. Now, let's go to the actual Strong's so I can show you even furthermore why it said that, all right? So let's go to the evening. Now, the word evening is the Hebrew number 6153, which is Areb. And bless you, Mama Clay. I see you in the chat. Shalom, shalom to you. It's the word Areb. Okay? Now, notice what it says, y'all. The definition of the word evening is evening, night, sunset. Sunset. Right? So, in other words, when you hear the word evening, this is pretty much saying when the sun sets. That's that's what the word evening means. Or, in other words, it's the beginning of night. Everything I'm about to say is about to make sense. Trust me. All right. Now, the word morning is the Hebrew number 1242, which is Boker. Okay. And when you see this, notice what it says. It says morning, break of day, morning. What do you see here in particular? Of end of night. End of night. Now, again, you guys, pay close attention because it's really not that hard to understand. When Yah spoke, he spoke during the daytime because the moment he spoke, he said, let there be light, that's day. That's when Yah decided to work. All right. So now Yah is working at the day portion. And then it's saying that the evening and the morning was the first day, as in the 24-hour cycle. Guess what, you guys? Evening and morning are not, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Evening and morning are not time periods. Evening and morning are simply events or occurrences. Evening is just the event where night starts, sunset, and morning is simply the event of night ending, the end of night, as I showed you in that definition. In other words, when it says evening and morning is the first day, evening and the morning is the second day, etc., that's just a fancy way of saying that the night came and it gone. It passed. The night came and it passed. That's literally all it's saying. It's not for you to assume that the night came before the day, because again, they could have easily just said the word night and day, but they did not employ those words. They did not employ those words. They specifically said the evening and the morning, which were two different words, from the biblical sense than the word day and night. All right. Again, evening and morning simply means that the night came and it passed. That's it. Isn't that much more simple? In other words, if mind you, the sun came on the fourth day, but when there's light in the sky, right? Yeah, that's when the day starts, and then you're gonna have the evening and the morning, and that's the end of the 24-hour cycle. Okay, Nick, prove it. Okay, so let's actually go even further, all right, you guys, because again, we have countless amount of verses. So let's actually go into it. Let me share my screen. So let's actually go to Psalms 104. All right. And then we're going to start at verse 18. And I want to show you guys something. Okay. I'm going to show you guys something that's extremely beautiful. Psalms 104, verse 18. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the conies. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. Check this out, y'all. Thou makest thou, as in Yah, makest darkness, and it is night. You see, this is what I was saying before. When it's darkness, that is night. But look at what's very interesting. Thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the what? All the beasts of the forest do creep forth. Do you guys understand that? You see, the nighttime is when the freaks come out to play. You guys get what I'm saying? That's when the freaks come out. It's for the beast, you guys. The nighttime was designed for the beast. Okay, let me prove my point even furthermore. The young lions roar after their prey and seek their meat from Yah. The sun ariseth. Now check this out. Look what happens when the sun comes out. The sun ariseth. They, as in those animals, gather themselves together and they lay them down in their dens. So that means now they're going back into their homes, y'all. Now check what happens. Man goeth forth unto his work and to his labor until the evening. I'm going to read that one last time. Man goeth forth unto his work and to his labor until the evening. And what does evening mean again, guys? The beginning of night. Okay, so what's my point? What's my point? Spot on, bro. House of Styles. Bless you, my brother. It's really simple. So what's my point? You see, man wakes up during the morning time, the same way the Most High did his work during the morning time. Because the very first thing he said is, let there be light. That was morning. And then you're going to always see evening and the morning are the first day, right? The 24-hour cycle. Yah already established a pattern for man. Again, we were created in the image of Yah, right? So the same way Yah chose to work during the morning time, and then you're going to see the evening and the morning, right? It passed. Is the same way we as man, who's created in the image of Yah, notice what it said in Psalms 104. What is it? Psalms 104. The beasts come out. The beasts of the forest come out at night. They're going to do all the things that they got to do, hunting, yada, yada, yada. And when the sun comes up, that's when they go back into the dens, their home. And man work from the beginning of the sun, right, the rising of the sun, till sunset or the evening. It's that simple. But why am I pointing this out? I'm pointing this out because I want you to understand from a biblical standpoint, nighttime was not a time period for man to work anyway. Let me say this one more time, because this is actually very key what I'm establishing here. Nighttime or night, right, is not designed for man to work anyway. Now, what we're dealing with is technology, and technology affords us, because they have street lights and things of that sort, they affords us the luxury to work during the night. But from a biblical standpoint, before they had street lights and anything of that sort, they were not working at all, you guys. They were not working at all. Okay. Let's prove it. All right. I'm jumping back and forth, but I believe the Messiah even mentions it. All right. 12-hour. Let me see. Do they have it? There you go. So you can see in Luke 22:14. Let's actually go there. Is it Luke? Matter of fact, let me go to my notes because I have it in my notes, you guys. My apologies. Let me just find it real quick. It's John 11, excuse me. John 11 and verse 9. I'm jumping a little bit around, but I want to point out something that's very important. Look, Jesus answered, "Are there not 12 hours in a day, in the day?" You see, again, why am I pointing this out? Because again, the Hebrews at the time, there was a clear distinction between the word day and night. You see, and Jesus is not saying there's 24 hours in a day. No. He knows that there's only 12 hours in a day, the light portion. Now, mind you, that's an average, right? They're talking about on average. If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he see the light of this world. You see, so this is when men can work. But look what happens. But if men walk in the night, he stumbleth because there is no light in him. So again, this is just to show you guys that the morning time is when man works because they can see. And that's kind of just simple, you guys. I mean, again, if there was no streetlights, if anybody ever been in the woods or in the country, you will know how pitch black it gets during the nighttime. So I think that's actually self-explanatory. But let's actually go, because again, I have plethora of verses to prove my point. So let's go to Psalms 136, all right, to establish some more proof. Psalm 136. And we're going to start at verse 8, okay? We're going to start at verse 8. All right. Now, check this out. The sun rule by day, for his mercy endure forever. The moon and the stars to rule by night, for his mercy endure forever. You guys, you know what's so amazing about this, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think you guys even see it. Sorry. I'll read it one more time. The sun to rule by day, for his mercy endure forever. And verse 9, it says, the moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endure forever. Okay. So why am I reading that? You guys, do you know how comical it is for you to teach your child the Bible and you say, the sun, when the sun is out, that's daytime, y'all. That's daytime, son or his daughter. Oh, okay, mommy and daddy. Okay, I understand. So, but then when it's darkness, you tell your child, oh, this is called night because the sun has set, but this is also when the day starts. Yah is not the author of confusion, y'all. Yah is not the author of confusion. He separated the day from the night, but yet you're going to teach your child that the day starts at the night, it starts at the evening. How does that make sense? How does the day, Nick, the 24-hour cycle starts at evening? Really? Okay, we're going to debunk that later on. But you guys, it's confusing. The day starts at the day. It is that simple. The day starts at the day. Yom, right? Y-O-M. That's the Hebrew word for day. It starts during the light portion, guys. It's that simple. Again, let's prove it even more so. So the next verse I want to share with you is Psalms 50, verse 1. All right. Psalms 50. And let's go to verse 1. A psalm of Asaph. The mighty Yah, even Yahweh, have spoken. Listen carefully, Yah, and called the earth. He called the earth when? From the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. That's when he chose to call the earth, Yah. The Yahweh called the earth from the rising of the sun. The rising of the sun is what, Yah? That's morning time. That, or if you want to call it, that's the when sunrise, Yah. It's sunrise, y'all. Woo! I didn't even let me shout out my brother Phineas. It's that simple. It's that simple, brother Phineas. Bless you, my brother. Let me see. Clay, John 9:4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. That's even a better verse. The night cometh when no man can work. So again, that shows you guys the concept that nighttime or the evening was not designed for man to work anyway. And you're going to see why this is important, okay? So let's actually establish the next set of verses. Let's go to Psalms 19. The morning stars sang together and all the sons of Elohim shouted for joy. There you go. There you go. It's simple, y'all. It really is. Let's go to what I just read out. Psalm 19. Okay. Psalms 19. And mind you, guys, we're not even going into the heavy hitters. I'm just establishing a foundation for you guys. All right. So we're going to go to verse 1 and 2. Okay. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of Yah, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Okay, now look at what you see here, Yah. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. Listen, Yah, I'm saying this for a reason. Remember, I kept saying throughout this live so far that what? Yah does his work during the daytime. Why was I saying that? Well, this is the verse. Why? Because day unto day uttereth speech. Remember, what's the very first thing he says? He says, let there be light. The moment he said that, that was daytime. And then when you see evening in the morning, you see when he ceases from his work, what is the nighttime for? Just to show his knowledge. That's all the nighttime was there. That's all it was there for. Yah is going to speak during the morning time, right? Because, matter of fact, let me prove it to you even more so. Let me go back. So you have Genesis 1, right? Let me prove you guys even more so. So notice what takes place, right? And Yah called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and evening and the morning were the first day. Now, remind you what I said. Evening is simply the beginning of night, and morning is simply the end of night. And that was the end of the first 24-hour period, which they call day. But notice what happened at the end of the first 24-hour period, which was, mind you, that was the end of night. That was morning. Look at what he's going to say. And Yah said, let there be a firmament. You see, notice Yah's about to work again when it's sunrise. Because that's what morning is. Morning is sunrise, or you could say it's the end of night. So again, day by day, let's go back to that last verse, Psalms 19 verse 2. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. All right, you guys, it's very clear. It's very clear. And it's the same thing, like I said, we created in the image of Yah. So it's no different than us who, when we do all our work, and then finally we get to rest and be like, ooh, I can rest from my labor. And then now you can behold all the things that you've done throughout the course of the day, the light portion. It's that simple, all right? Now, let's actually go into some heavy hitters, all right? Bless you, Sister Shay, bless you. All right, so now let's actually go to heavy hitters, because all those verses that I read, mind you, there's countless more, but now what I'm going to do, rather than establishing the foundation, I'm going to actually go into some practical verses that's going to help us see that, clearly the day starts in the morning time. It's going to be, like I said, emphatic proof is going to be so clear, it's not even funny, all right? So I believe there's going to be some reading, y'all. There's going to be a lot of reading, so please bear with me, but this is actually quite important for us to understand. And let me tell you why I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about this because I actually made the mistake in previous videos where I said that the day starts at the evening. So this is actually a means for me to actually repent openly, because that just was wrong. So if I'm going to have the integrity, if I present the wrong information, I have no problem repenting and actually presenting the right information. I used to believe that, but that's not the truth, all right? The truth is that the day starts at the day, right? The morning time. We are children of the day. That's it. We are. And we're going to go to that verse later on in detail too, my brother. But let's actually get into the verses I was saying. So Exodus 16, again, this is very important. So please follow along. Exodus 16. It's going to be a lot of reading, but I think it's going to be important. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. All right, so you can see here, Yahweh provides manna. Okay, so we all should know this account. This is not an account that should be new to us. All right, I gotta change my schedule. You see, and we're gonna discuss that too, Brother Lamar. But it's not gonna be that drastic as you may think. But we do have to change it. The Yahweh provides manna. Okay, so Exodus 16, verse 1. And they took their journey from Elam, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elam and Sinai. And on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to Yah, we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. But ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Then said Yahweh unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day. Now, you guys, I'm putting emphasis on this. I'm going to put so much emphasis on this. Because again, we just established the definition of the word day from a Hebraic standpoint. So now notice, I'm putting emphasis on this, and notice what's going to take place over the course of Exodus 16. Mind you, we established that the word day is only the light portion. Let's see if that holds true. Let's see if that holds true, y'all. And the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day, they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. Okay. And Moshe and Aaron said unto the children of Israel, at even, then ye shall know that Yahweh hath brought you out from the land of Egypt. Okay. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of Yahweh, for that he heareth your murmurings against Yah. And what are we that ye murmur against us? All right, now let's check this out, y'all. You can drop the mic at this point. Hey, we're gonna go deeper. There's a lot of verses. You're absolutely right. And Moses said, this shall be when Yahweh shall give you in the evening, flesh to eat, and in the morning, bread to the full. What are we noticing here? What are we noticing here? You guys are smart people. I mean, do you think Moses did not know how to write? Do you think he was somehow ignorant, or he was illiterate or uneducated? No. He's saying this for a reason, meaning that during the dark portion, Yah is going to give them flesh to eat. But in the light portion, the morning, he was going to give them bread to eat. All right? For that Yahweh heareth your murmurings which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Yahweh. And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yahweh, for he hath heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yahweh appeared in a cloud. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at even. Again, we seen it again. We seen it again. At evening ye shall eat flesh. They were not eating the flesh in the morning time, y'all. All right, that's very important for us to understand. And in the morning ye shall be filled with bread. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh your Elohim. And it came to pass that at evening the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as a hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, it is manna. For they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which Yahweh hath given you to eat. This is the thing which Yahweh hath commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, and omer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so. Now, before I go any further, let me just hammer this home. I put so much emphasis on this for a reason. Every morning, Yahweh was going to rain down manna, bring down manna, but every evening, he was going to give them quail or flesh to eat. And this has very strong implications because when they said 6 days, you're going to be able to, every day you're going to gather a certain rate of manna or bread. And they said on the 6th day, you're supposed to take double. I want you to understand that they're using that word for a reason. Every day is that every night. It's not every 24-hour period. No, it was every day. And the nighttime has its own set of food that Yahweh was going to provide for them. Now let's go to the proof of it. All right. Verse 17, and the children of Israel did so and gathered, some more, some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said, let no man leave of it till the morning. You see that? Let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but spoke unto them. But some of them left of it until the morning, and they bred worms and stink. And Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. When the sun waxed hot, it melted. Do you see this right here? Look at what we're about to understand. The Sabbath observed. We're going to find out when the Sabbath was observed, y'all. And it came to pass that on the 6th day, all right, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man, and all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses, let's stop right there. On the 6th day, what did they gather? Can y'all please put it in the chat? Can you please put in the chat? We found out that Yah was supposed to bring down manna every morning, every day, and that he was supposed to give them quail or flesh every evening. But when we just read that verse, and I'll put it up again, and it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread. I'm going to leave this verse up here for you guys. Can you see what were they supposed to gather twice of? What were they supposed to gather twice of? I see, let me change the screen here. I see blue collar scholar manna for 2 days. Thank you very much. Shebrew, only bread. I'm glad you put the word only. Only bread. Sister Shay, bread. Thank you very much. On the 6th day, they only gathered twice as much bread. Bread. They're not going to be gathering twice as much quail. They're not going to gather twice as much flesh. Why? Because this is what I want you guys to understand, you guys. Sabbath does not start at evening. Of course it doesn't, because the day does not start at evening. The 7th day, right? 6 days you shall do your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh, your Elohim. Yeah, the day portion, the 7th day portion is the Sabbath. And that's why, you see, and the reason why I'm putting emphasis on this, because do you guys understand how much liberty comes for all the people? All the liberty that comes for the people who long time ago, they used to think that the day, the 24-hour cycle started at evening. And here you are on Friday, rushing to do everything that you need to do, because when the sun sets, you're gonna lose time. You have no more time because the Sabbath started. No, the Sabbath didn't start, you guys. So for all of you guys on Friday night, y'all still able to cook. You're still able to do whatever you need to do to prepare or whatever the case may be. Why? Because the 7th day didn't start yet. The 7th day, the light portion, is what we would commonly call Saturday morning. Thank you. The young man was gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. Thank you very much. How you gonna gather in the dark? You know, you can't even see. We heard Messiah say that. You can't even see. You can't do no work in the nighttime. Again, let's not be confused because we have modern day conveniences like the street lights where we could work in the day. No, back then they did not have those conveniences. The nighttime was not designed for man to work any damn way. You see, and that's why I'm putting this emphasis on this video, because again, he's not going to tell you on the seventh day and night you need to rest. Why would he have to say that? It would be redundant because the Hebrews were resting on the nighttime anyway. We read that in Psalms. The Hebrews were going to rest in the nighttime anyway. So he's only concerned about the day portion because it's during the day portion that man was working. So he's saying the seventh day, that 12-hour period, the seventh day where there's light, you need to cease from working. And this is the proof. Let's read it one more time, yeah. And it came to pass, I hope you guys can see that, by the way. Let's get to it. And it came to pass that on the sixth day, they gathered twice as much bread. You see, there's nowhere where it says that they gathered twice as much quail, y'all. 2 omers for one man, and all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which Yahweh have said, tomorrow. So let's actually look up the word tomorrow, y'all. Let's look, actually, my fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. Ah, man, this is the thing about these internet stuff. Hopefully the connection is good enough. But there's a very strong definition for the word tomorrow. I probably got to write it again. Tomorrow. Hopefully the internet holds up. But I mean, I'm showing it right in front of you guys anyway, right? So look at what it says, tomorrow. Look, even the world knows it. The day following today. So the light portion that follows today's light portion. That's what tomorrow even means. Further proof of that is, let's go to Exodus 16:23, right? And let's look up the word morrow. All right, morrow. You see Hebrew number 4279? And look at what it says. Tomorrow as the day following the present day. It's simple, y'all. It's the day. So in other words, he's saying that this is that which Yahweh have spoken tomorrow. That means the next day, the light portion, is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh. Bake that which you will bake today, and sieve that which you will sieve. Pause. Let's pause, because the beauty is in the details, y'all. We already know that Yah was raining down bread, manna, right? And he gave them flesh. Okay, so when it says bake that which you will bake, what were they baking? What were they baking? Again, I'm taking it slow for a reason, because you guys may be an intelligent audience, but just in case people find this video for the very first time, I want to make it so clear that I'm laying it down for everybody to understand. All right? Hey, bless you, Arnold Durant. I'm glad you enjoying this. Bless you dearly. Right? So, in other words, he said, bake which you will bake today. So, in other words, are you baking? What are you baking? They're going to be baking the bread, y'all. So he said, bake what you need to bake today. And he said, what? Sieve. See, the word sieve means to boil. What were they boiling? Do you boil bread? No, you guys, you're going to boil what? The flesh. You boiling the quail. So in other words, let's go back to that verse. He's saying, bake the bread that you need to bake today, and boil, sieve that which you will sieve. The quail, you guys. The quail. And this is what I mean. Friday night or Friday evening, you guys stop rushing. Stop saying that, oh, I can't cook, I can't do nothing, I gotta rest. No. No, you still have your Friday evening, Friday night, whatever you want to call it. You still have that time period to cook. Stop rushing, y'all. Y'all didn't put that burden on you. You see, that's man and their religion that put that burden on you. All right, you guys. And then look at it says, and that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until what? Morning. Okay. Again, today you're gonna be able to bake and sieve. And mind you, sieving at nighttime, right? You're gonna have to boil at the nighttime. Why? Because they gathered the quail at nighttime. Hey guys, so that means they were gonna be able to do that, and it's gonna be laid up for them until the morning. That is the tomorrow that they refer to, and that is the tomorrow that's considered the holy Sabbath. You get what I'm saying, guys? It's literally that simple. All right, and there's gonna be even more proof. And they laid it up until morning as Moses bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moshe said, eat that today, for today is the Sabbath. Again, today is the Sabbath unto Yahweh. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it. But on the 7th day, you guys, it's so clear, which is the Sabbath. In it there shall be none. But none of what? You guys are intelligent. If on the Sabbath, what were they not going to find? Again, it's the 7th day. What were they not going to find? They're not going to find any bread. It was twice as much bread they were supposed to gather on the 6th day. The quail is going to come Friday evening, and the quail was going to come. I'm using Friday and Saturday, right? Just for the sake of understanding. But Friday night, quail was going to appear, and Saturday night it was going to appear, because the Sabbath is not concerned about the night. Again, people were going to rest at the nighttime any damn way. The Sabbath is only concerned about the daytime, and that's why they use the word 7th day for a reason. There's a clear distinction between the word day and night. 27, and it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And Yahweh said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? Check this out. See, for that Yahweh have given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you 6 days, the bread of 2 days. You see, that's even clearer. You see, now there's no distinction. Again, he omitted the quail again. They omitted the word quail or flesh again, because again, the Sabbath does not even, it does not deal with the nighttime. The bread only came during the morning, y'all. Therefore, he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out to his place on the 7th day. On the 7th day. All right. If you guys are enjoying this video, by the way, please hit the like button. But hey, you guys, we're about to go deeper. We're about to go deeper. I know that was a lot of reading, but we finna go deeper. All right. There's a lot that we need to break down. All right, so let's go to Leviticus. Now, this one, I love this because this never made sense in times past, and now the understanding is finally going to come. At least that's my hope and desire for everyone. So let's actually read this. All right, Leviticus 23, and we're going to start at verse 5. Okay, so let's get there. In the 14th day. Now, I want you guys to understand something. Do you see how this word? Let me see if I could zoom in a little bit. Do you notice? And you guys could check your own Bibles as well. Do you notice when it says in the 14th day? Do you see how the word day is italicized? The word day. Do you see how it's italicized? Do you guys see that? That's because that word day is an assertion. Again, you see, in this context, what they're trying to say is that in the 14th 24-hour cycle of the month. But again, you see, in the minds of the Hebrews, the word day had a very specific context. It was only in reference to the light portion. So we use the word day interchangeably. So that's why the writers wrote it that way for us to understand. But again, when they say on the 14th day, They wasn't really talking about the morning portion, and I'm gonna prove it to you because again, it's italicized. But notice what Leviticus 23 verse 5 says. Let's read it. All right. So in the 14th day of the first month at even. You see, do you see why they had to italicize the word day? You see, because when does it truly start? It truly starts on the 14th of the month, because I could truly omit the word day. In the 14th of the month at evening, meaning at nighttime, there's the master's Passover. Now I'm going to break this down. All right. I'm going to break this down in a way that I want you guys to please follow me. All right. Because for those who know, y'all know. You part of, organizations. You part of, these religious organizations, these churches, and what they will assert to you is that Passover starts at this very, eerie time where the sun is setting, but it didn't quite set, and therefore you and I'm laughing because I hope you understand. Do you not understand how confusing it is? For the sake of time, let's just assume that morning time is 6 o'clock a.m. and let's say not evening starts at 6 o'clock p.m. All right. Please keep these notes in mind, right? On average. So what these organizations will do is they will celebrate the Passover, let's call it maybe 4 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. And the reason why they do that is because they know innately that, okay, after the Passover needs to flow into the first day of unleavened bread. But again, they are in clear opposition of the word, because when does the Passover take place? It told you, it said on the 14th day at evening, meaning at night time. So rather than rushing, no, you have that full nighttime period to conduct the Passover. Why? Because the 15th day, right, which is the morning portion, that's when unleavened bread will start. And let me actually prove it to you, right? Let me prove it to you. So let's go to Leviticus. Let's keep this in mind, Leviticus 23. We're going to go back to Exodus, and I believe it's chapter 12. Okay, now you can even see it right here where it says the Passover lamb, right? So let's read this, and it's going to be extremely clear. All right, you guys? And Yahweh spake unto Moshe and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month, which is the first month, y'all, right, shall be unto you the beginning of months. That's Abib or Nisan. All right, you guys? It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day. All right, and notice that word, you see how it's italicized again, the word day? Do you see how it's italicized again? Because again, they're pretty much saying that it's pretty much on the 10th. On the 10th of the month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day. Now, I did this for a reason, y'all, because again, this chapter is going to explain in greater detail what the Israelites were pretty much doing or were commanded in Leviticus 23. So if you want greater understanding of how the Passover needs to be observed from a Leviticus 23, you need to read Exodus chapter 12, which is what we're reading right now. So please pay close attention to see what takes place. And ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it when? In the evening. Now, there's more to this chapter, but I want you to understand. If anybody's conducting Passover and it's not evening, or in other words, to be even more concrete, it's not nighttime, it's not dark, they're not keeping the Passover at all. They're not keeping the Passover at all. Again, there should be no semblance of light if you're doing the Passover. I'm just keeping it a buck, y'all. There should be no semblance of light at all if you're keeping the Passover. Because we just read it as clear as day what it says. Look at what it said. It said, and ye shall keep it, I'm sorry. Yeah, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it when? In the evening, which is exactly what 23 said. It said on the 14th day at evening. Now, here's what, look at the details that take place. First of all, does anybody understand? I think Brother Rich is in here. You lived on a plot of land where there was, agricultural animals and things of that sort. How long would it take to actually kill a lamb? Can you give us a ballpark? Blue collar scholar, can you please give us a ballpark? I mean, how long would it take to actually kill a lamb? Again, because I'm trying to show you guys how foolish it would be for us to assume that around 4 p.m., mind you, that's not even evening time because there's still sun out, but 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., which would be even worse because now you have even less time, that you somehow have to rush to kill the lamb. And then look at the other instructions that's regarded with this lamb. They say, so you have to kill the lamb at evening. And then look at what it says. And they shall take the blood and strike it on the two sides of the post and on the upper doorpost of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night. That's even worse. That's even worse, you guys. So now they got to eat that flesh in the nighttime. Roast with fire. So now you got to cook it. So, brother, blue collar scholar, you said it would take about an hour and a half. So let's pause right there. So is it safe to say that for these congregations that keep the Passover rushing, they have an hour, 2 hour max before the actual evening, and they calling that actual evening unleavened bread. They calling that evening unleavened bread. So you telling me that they have to kill this lamb, which you say it takes about an hour and a half, and then I'm glad you said that, Crazy Gardeners, 5 to 6 hour process with roasting. It said roast with fire. Wouldn't it be safe to assume, according to those organizations, that their so-called Passover is literally overlapping unleavened bread? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That their Passover is overlapping because they would have to kill and then they would have to roast this lamb. A process which you guys are saying an hour and a half. I'll go on the lower end. So it would take about an hour to kill this thing, and then 5 to 6 hours process with roasting. That easily puts us, let's say, if we started at 4 o'clock, that's so at 6 hours. That will put us at 10 o'clock at night, you guys. Is that not clearly during the time of unleavened bread, according to what they believe? You see, I don't believe that. You see, unleavened bread is on the 15th day, like the Bible actually says, on the 15th day, which would make more sense. And I'm gonna prove it to you with this chapter, right? I'm gonna prove it even more so, because let's check this out. Exodus 12. They shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden. So it's telling you guys, y'all better not eat that lamb raw. It better be roasted with fire, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire. His heads with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. You see, you better not let it remain until the morning. And why not? Because in the morning time, you guys, that would be considered the 15th, which is unleavened bread. You see, the Passover cannot overlap unleavened bread, y'all. It just cannot. So if they saying you better not let it remain until the morning, and that which remaineth of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, and your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. In haste. It is Yahweh's Passover. For what and why should they eat it in haste? Look what's going to take place. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the mighty ones of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Now, check this out, y'all. I want you guys to understand what's taking place. Passover takes place at nighttime. I think that should be clear. That's not Brother Nick's words. That's not nobody's words in the chat. That's literally what the Bible said. The Passover needs to be killed. That lamb needs to be killed at night. It has to. And you need to roast it with fire, which is about a 5 to 6 hour process. Thank you, Crazy Gardener, for that information, right? So you have to kill it, and you have to roast it and eat it at night. And they're saying that you need to do this during the nighttime. Why? Because in the morning time, what were they supposed to do, y'all? If anybody understands unleavened bread and what it signifies back then. You see, at nighttime, Yahweh allowed the angel of death to come through Egypt and kill all the firstborn. And in the morning time, they were supposed to leave Egypt, y'all. That's when they left Egypt. That's when they left. So what I want you guys to understand is that anybody who is celebrating Passover when it's not nighttime, not only are they doing it wrong, but then furthermore, they started, not only did they do Passover wrong, they automatically do unleavened bread wrong, because their unleavened bread takes place at nighttime when it starts on the 15th day, which is the morning portion. House of Lamar, you said, what about trumpets? We're about to go over all of that. We're about to go over all of that. I may not even touch trumpets per se, but Day of Atonement is another one, which let's actually just go there, because I think I laid down this pretty clear. Matter of fact, I just want to go to my notes. Bear with me, y'all, for a quick moment. I just want to make sure that I cover everything I needed to cover. Matter of fact, let's read this a little bit more. And the blood shall be for you a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Now look what it says. Feast of unleavened bread. And this day, not at nighttime, y'all, shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it the feast of Yahweh throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, the soul shall be cut off from Israel. All right, you guys. So again, let's actually go back now to Leviticus 23, because there is something also very important for us to understand. So when you observe, or rather analyze all the feasts, there's only 2 feasts in particular where it mentions the word at evening. So we read on the, where is it? In the 14th day, in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 5, it says, in the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover, all right? The next time that term is actually used at evening, you see, because notice, like I said, notice unleavened bread, it says on the 15th day, right? It doesn't start at evening. All right. So if we jump down, so let me just touch on this, because you mentioned trumpets, Brother Lamar. And I just want you to have, just so you can understand it. It says, and Yahweh speak unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day, right, of the month, shall you have and mind you, that word day is italicized. So you have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. Notice it doesn't mention anything about evening. So that feast would start in the day portion, the same way as unleavened bread. But this is what I really want to point out to you, the Day of Atonement, y'all. Check this out. And Yahweh speak unto Moshe, saying, on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day. Now, please, you guys, I know this is a lot, but I'm about to stress out something so important. Please remember that they just said the 10th day. They literally just said the 10th day, and some people just like, oh, okay, you know, Day of Atonement is the 10th day. I'm gonna prove something to you that's extremely important. Okay, so please bear in mind, remember that number, the 10th day. All right. Also, on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, an offering and offer, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement to make atonement for you before Yahweh your Elohim. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day. Now, do you notice every time they emphasizing the word work, notice that they could care less about the night. Why? Because we already established from the beginning of the video that nighttime was a time when the Hebrews or humans in general would rest any damn way. So they do not care about the nighttime, y'all. They constantly saying on that day. And I'm going to prove it to you because, again, we talked about the 10th day. Look what takes place later on as we keep reading. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Check this out, y'all. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. Nah, this gets interesting, y'all. Bear with me. So we read earlier that Day of Atonement, mind you, it's called Day of Atonement, right? They started off by saying it's on the 10th day, Then later on, when we read it, we find out when it actually starts, it says on the 9th day at evening. So in actuality, the Day of Atonement starts on the 9th day at evening. I'm going to give you two scenarios, and you guys tell me which one you think makes sense. So for all the people that believe that the day starts at evening, if it started on the evening of the 9th, first of all, why would you have to even say on the 9th day at evening? According to their understanding, why not just say the 9th day? Day of Atonement starts on the 9th day. I mean, the day starts at evening time anyway, so why mention the 9th day at evening? It doesn't make sense. But let's just go with it, right? So if it starts on the 9th day at evening, mind you, according to their understanding, they have an evening portion or the nighttime portion, and then they have a day portion. So that means you have 9th day, I can't saying it sounds crazy to me, but you have the 9th 24-hour cycle, but it starts at nighttime. So nighttime, and then you have the 9th day, right? The evening and the morning, according to what they understand. And then you're going to have the 10th day, the evening and the morning. So Day of Atonement is 2 days. You guys, I hope you guys are following along. Does it make sense that Day of Atonement is 2 days? It's a 2-day feast. It's called Day of Atonement, but all of a sudden it's a 2-day feast. You guys, if according to their understanding, if the day starts at evening, so you have the evening of the 9th, and then you have the morning time of the 9th, and then you have the evening of the 10th, and then you have the morning time of the 10th. That would be 2 24-hour cycles, 48 hours. That would be 2 whole days, y'all. Now, let's scratch that. With with the true biblical understanding, because it's not my understanding. The true biblical understanding, let's see if it makes more sense. We're telling you that when you see the word day, it only means the light portion, which Jesus already explained has 12 hours. So in other words, when they're telling you that it starts on the 9th day at evening, that means that the 9th day, the night portion of that day, and just for the sake of, clarity, let's just say that there's 12 hours in the night as well, right? Because, commonly they claim that there's 24 hours in a day. That's a oversimplification. I don't want to get into the details, like in terms of science, in terms of like how many hours truly exist. I'm not gonna get too, anal about that. But let's just say there's 12 hours in the day and there's 12 hours at night. And 24 hours creates what we call the 24-hour cycle. Wouldn't it make more sense when they said the ninth day at evening? That means you have, when it's the ninth day, the night portion, you have 12 hours of the night. And then on the 10th day, you have 12 hours of that day. That would make 24 hours. That's a whole day. Oh, that makes perfect sense. And that's why they said from evening, let's go to that verse one more time. This is the reason why it says, it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls. In the ninth day at the month at evening, meaning that at nighttime, you're going to have 12 hours at that night. And it's what it says. It says from evening unto evening. Why? Because it's going to end on the evening of the 10th day. That's going to be a whole 24 hours. It's that simple. It's that simple, y'all. It's that simple. I mean, I don't know. This is crazy. But anyway, again, if you guys are understanding this, if this is making sense, please hit that like button. Share the video as well. But there's more. All right. You're like, surely there's not more. No, there's more, you guys. There's more. All right, let's actually go to Nehemiah. Okay. Let's go to Nehemiah real quick. We're going to go to Nehemiah 13. 13, and we're going to read verse 19. Matter of fact, we're going to start from verse 15 so that you guys can see some things in context. All right, you guys? And notice what it's saying. It said Sabbath restored. Okay, Sabbath restored. And we're going to read it, all right, very carefully. It says, in those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath. Now, mind you, again, we told you guys that the Sabbath is literally just the day portion. Again, it's the seventh day. All right. And wouldn't that make sense? Would it make sense for them to be treading wine during the nighttime? They can't see nothing at night. Would it make sense for them to be treading wine during the nighttime? Or what the world would call Friday evening when there's no sun out? No, guys, that don't make no sense. But check this out. In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath, and bringing in sheaves, and laden asses, and also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And while I'm on this topic, you guys, if you guys do a word search, I would dare anybody to please find the term Sabbath night or Sabbath evening. I've looked it up. I tried looking for it, and I couldn't find it. So can anybody please find the term Sabbath night or Sabbath evening for me? And if you guys can find that, I will shut up. I will shut up. I will just shut up right there. But let's keep going. Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. All right. There dwelt men in Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day? The Sabbath day. Did not your fathers thus, and did not our Elohim bring all this evil upon us and upon the city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath? Check this out, y'all. Check this out. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened until after the Sabbath. And some of the servants set I at the gates, that there should be no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day. Now let me read that one more time. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, pause, because this is a mic drop as well, y'all. If the day started at evening is the beginning of nighttime. Again, night. You guys, in Genesis 1, it said that he called the darkness night. And he called the light day. So just bear with me, y'all. If he called the darkness night, and there are people who will assert that the day, the 24-hour cycle, starts at night. Okay, I don't mind. You believe that. So now, how can there be, let's read it. Let's read it. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath. Can anybody understand what does that even mean? How can there be any period of darkness before nighttime? And don't give me this, oh, that's the twilight. The Bible don't speak that way, you guys. The Bible don't speak that way. I know it sounds cute to talk about dawn and dusk and all this twilight. No, you guys, how is it possible for there to be darkness before any day if the day starts at evening? Dream Radio, it's not possible. Thank you very much. How can you have darkness before the start of any day? This verse, Nehemiah, is clearly telling you guys that no, the day starts in the morning time. Look how it's the day starts in the morning time because there is no such thing as a darkness before the Sabbath, y'all. It doesn't make sense. It's not biblically sound. There's no darkness before the Sabbath. You guys, this is so easy. I hope this is so clear. Oh, there you go. And we're going to get there, Hassalamah. We're going to get there. Is it because man loves darkness rather than light? Oh. Hey, I would say yes, my brother. I would say that's a very strong possibility that man loves darkness. And that's why I started off the video by saying that in the world, they believe the day starts at midnight. And then when you come to this so-called Hebrew faith, right, they telling you it starts at the evening time. No, it doesn't. It does not start at the evening time. And then you have a bunch of people who stole our manuscripts, our scrolls, our culture, right? You have these people, they start their day at the evening, and then we just blindly follow them. But the word is very clear. There's no such thing as a darkness before the Sabbath. We have even more compelling evidence, y'all. We have more compelling evidence for you guys. All right. Let's go to Jubilees 2, verse 9. Let's go to Jubilees 2, verse 9. Let's actually just bear with me, y'all. Jubilees 2. All right. I hope. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. This is so small. I don't want to do that to you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It just looks so small. I think this is bearable. Okay. This is more bearable. So let's go to verse 9 of Jubilees 2. Sorry for the background. I hope it's comprehensible. But let's go to verse 9. And let me just make sure that for context. Okay, let's start at verse 8. All right. So notice in Hebrews, in Jubilees 9, I'm tripping. In Jubilees 2, starting from verse 8, all right, and look at what it says. It says, on the fourth day, he created the sun and the moon and the stars and set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon all the earth and to rule over the day and the night and divide the light from the darkness. And check this out. And Yahweh appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days, y'all, and for Shabbats. He appointed what? He appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days and for Shabbats and for months and for feasts and for years and for Shabbats of the years and for jubilees and for all the seasons of the years. Now, unless if the sun is coming up during the evening time, y'all, I think this is extremely clear that the sun is appointed as a sign for what? Shabbats, for days. All right. We have even more verses. Let's go to Enoch And this one is really a nail in the coffin. You're gonna go to Enoch 41. Let's go to Enoch 41. Okay, yeah, this is pretty clean. And we're gonna start at verse, I believe it's 5. Okay. So let's read this. And I saw the chambers of the sun. So there's other translations that mentions the word repositories. All right, but in other words, this is pretty much where they held kept. All right. So I saw the chambers of the sun and the moon where they go out and where they return, and their glorious return, and how one is more honored than the other is, and their magnificent course, and how they do not leave their course, neither adding nor subtracting from their course, and how they keep faith in one another, observing their oath. This is the key, y'all. This is the key, y'all. And the sun goes out first. Do I need to zoom in? Let me zoom in. And the sun goes out first. Oh, man. Yeah, it's beautiful. The sun goes out first, y'all, and completes its journey at the command of Yahweh of spirits, and his name endures forever and ever. Check this out. And after this is the hidden and visible path of the moon. Oh my gosh. You guys, is that not clear? Oh man, I'm tripping. You guys wasn't able to see the. Oh man, you guys were not able to see the thing all this time. Let me. I'm looking at another screen and I'm realizing I'm right in front of the camera, getting so hype. And mind you, you guys can't even see the verse. let me share the verses with you guys one more time. All right, I'm gonna say it one more time. All right, so I'm here all exposing the screen. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Let's do this one more time. And I saw in the chambers of the sun and the moon where they go out and where they return, and their glorious return, and how one is more honored than the other, and their magnificent course, and how they do not leave their course, neither adding nor subtracting from the course, and how they keep faith in one another, observing their oath. Now, this is why I was so hyped, y'all. And the sun, and then I zoomed it in so you guys can see it, and the sun goes out first. All right, man. And completes his journey at the command of Yahweh's spirits, and his name endures forever. And verse 7. And after this is the hidden and visible path of the moon, and it travels the course of his journey in that place by day and by night. One stands opposite the other in front of Yahweh's spirits, and they give thanks and sing praise and do not rest, because their thanksgiving is like rest to them. Do you guys hear that? This is so clear. It says the sun goes out first, and then after is the hidden and visible path of the moon. You got this. This is just overwhelmingly clear. It's overwhelmingly clear. All right. Bless you, sis. Bless you dearly. Wow. Thank you so very much, Brother Nick, for your due diligence and dedication to breaking chains. Hey, bless you. And I'm glad you said breaking chains, because I really feel for the sisters out there, because I was one of those people where I would put so much pressure on my wife, like, hey, the sun's about to set, make sure you get everything done. And now none of that burden. Now she can finally do things in peace. You get what I'm saying? And again, I want to give out a shout out again to Brother Brandon for that Facebook post, because he actually sparked the conversation. All right, as well as my older brother. For helping me understand this. I want to give credit where credit's due. But let's actually go to some other verses, because now I want to actually tackle some things from more of a spiritual sense. Because again, Brother Lamar said something that was very interesting. It says that he said, "Is it because man like darkness rather than light?" And I would say yes. Let me actually see. Blue Collar Scholar. Note the chronology, the sun. Then there you go. There you go, right? Enoch made it so clear, my brother. It was so clear. So let's actually go into some of the more spiritual aspects, because I think some people they try to lessen the importance of this. And I think there was something by design why people attach themselves to the dark portion. For one, it's amazing. There's a passage of scripture. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Because there's a passage of scripture where it says change. What is it? Is it dates? Change times. I think that's what it says. Change time. Yep. And if you go to Daniel chapter 7, and then look at what it says. Yeah, I'm gonna read from verse 24. It says, "And then 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against." He shall speak great words, what? Against, not for, but against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change. Now, this is a key, y'all. And think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time of times and dividing of time. Do you notice? This is the reason why I'm emphasizing this verse, because again, notice this person that's trying to speak against the Most High, they will try to think to change times. And this is the reason why in the beginning of the live, I was telling you guys, the world, they changed time completely and they made it start at midnight. But I told you guys that would have been impossible for them to calculate time at that time, because the earliest form of calculating time was the sundial. They needed the sun in order to calculate time. It would have been impossible for our ancient people back then to know when midnight actually was. So I want you guys to understand, that these people, the powers that be, they will think to change times and laws. And this is why it's important for us to establish this, because this discussion, in essence, is a discussion of time, It's a discussion of time. And this is why I also ask you, just bringing things back into remembrance, I asked you, how can we establish time if everything was only darkness? You see, time did not even come to existence until the Most High said, "Let there be light." It's the commencing of the day, the starting of the day, that helps us understand the concept of time. You guys understand that? All right. So now, from a spiritual standpoint, why do I think this is so detrimental to us as a people when we always try to associate ourselves with the night? Let's get to it. All right. And thank you for those who are bearing with me with the study, but I won't be too long, and we're almost done. But if we go to Ephesians, I believe it's chapter 5, and we're going to go to verse 8. Look at what it says. "For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Master. Walk as children of light." You see, again, there will be these people. I remember when I was in this religious organization. There was this guy who would put so much emphasis on Shivu, that night is for witches and beasts. Hey, that's a fact. I remember when I was in these religious organizations, right? And there was this guy that said that, "Oh, some of you guys are scared of the night." No, you should be scared of the day. Scared of the day. And then they would try to rationalize it by saying, "Oh yeah, because in the daytime you're exposed, but in the nighttime," and then they will use that one verse, "Yahweh made darkness his pavilion." Are you serious? Just because he said and let's go to that verse so that we could break some of these yokes, y'all. For the people that believe in that dark pavilion. I hope I'm spelling it right. Am I not spelling it right? Dark made. There you go. That's what I think it is. There you go. So you have 2 Samuel 22, verse 12. And let's read it, yeah. You see, and he, as in Yah, made darkness pavilions round about him, dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. There's also another verse, I think in Psalms 18, verse 11, and it says it again, where it says that he made darkness his secret place, his pavilion pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. So people would use this verse and they would somehow suggest that, oh, because Yahweh made darkness his pavilion, therefore you ought to be more comfortable in the darkness. And you guys, let me just debunk this real quick, all right? He made darkness his secret place, his pavilion. Do you guys understand what the word pavilion actually means? Let's just go there, right? So you can see it's the word sukkah, which is Hebrew number 5521. Okay, look at what the word means, y'all. Tabernacle, booth, pavilion, cottage, covert, tents. Look at this booth, rude or temporary shelter. Okay, why am I saying this? Just because Yah made darkness his pavilion, I told you guys earlier in the live, you guys, that we are made in the image of Yah. We are created in his likeness. Darkness is our pavilion as well. Look, the darkness, the word pavilion simply means a booth, shelter, a covert, a tent. And what do you do in these places, y'all? Don't you rest? Don't you rest in a tent, rest in a cottage, rest in shelter? And that's no different than what Genesis was saying when he spoke during the day by day, according to Psalms, right? Day by day uttereth speech. And the night showeth his knowledge. You see, so Yah was working during the day, and then during the night, that's when he decided to look, okay, I'm gonna chill. Right? So it's the same thing with us. And that's why I read for you guys in Psalms who do their work during the night. Shebrew mentioned the night is for the witches and the beast. There you go. Psalms mentioned that it was the beast of the forest. They do their thing at night. The freaks come out to play at night. And this is the reason why, man, we make night darkness our pavilion. We simply rest at night. That's all it means. Let's not try to make this thing so uberly spiritual, like, ooh, it's so spiritual. No. You get what I'm saying? Darkness is our pavilion as men as well. That's when we're going to go into our tents. We're going to go into our booth. We're going to go into our shelter because we're going to rest during the nighttime, y'all. It's that simple. What you know about the freaks, bro, Nick? Hey, man, I just heard. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing personally. I just heard about it, you know. Let's actually go back, though. So I believe I was reading, just bear with me, guys, while I find it. So it was Ephesians 5, verse 8, right? I said, again, walk as children of the light, okay? Another verse I want to share with you is 1 Thessalonians 5. 1 Thessalonians 5. And we're going to go to verse 4 and 5. Verse 4 and 5. And look at what it says. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. You know, this is something I want you guys to emphasize, right? Or understand. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness. So what does it mean when it says that the day should overtake you as a thief? Let me show you something, right? You see, the thief, when do they come out? You see, the thief comes out at night because he knows that it's not easy for him to be spotted. But if the day was to come up while the thief was doing his job, he would be exposed, and therefore people would be like, oh, the thief is here. Do you get what I'm saying now? That's all this means. So in other words, again, don't be operated in the nighttime, y'all. That's not for you. You are the children of the light. And here's another thing too, right? There's some people that will say some things like, oh, you know, the light and darkness, they just refer to like truth and righteousness. Yes, you absolutely right. It does refer to truth and righteousness. But there is something what does the word say? First, that which is natural, then that which is spiritual. You see, from a natural standpoint, we need to be operated in the day, just like Yeshua told us. That's when we're supposed to be doing our work. They dream radio. I think the thinking of Shabbat night came from religiousness. That's straight up. That's just a straight up. Sorry about the carnal jokes about people needing a good life. Nah, bro, you good, man. But the freaks really do come out night. Look, in almost every single culture, yo, do you know how many third world countries? Oh, in Haiti, they will call it lugau, which is, like it will be translated to werewolf. Hispanics, they have Santeria. Africans, they have their own version. You guys, in almost every single culture, all the demonic activity is always at the nighttime, y'all. This is not even exaggeration. There you go. You said the night owl. Every single thing associated with demonic activity always takes place at night. Always. So when you hear people saying, "Oh, don't be scared of the night," look. First of all, you're not supposed to have a spirit of fear any damn way. But you better don't be comfortable at night. Don't be just here parading yourselves at nighttime. No. Let the heathens of the world do that. If they want to go out to the nightclub, the strip club, all this stuff, and notice even that. Notice what it's called, the nightclub. Even in the name, y'all. You see, let the heathens do that. Let them do and operate. There you go. Graveyard shift. Oh, man. The dead shift. Let's go to some more verses, y'all. Let's go to some more verses. Let me see. Give me 1 second as I go to some of my notes. Give me one quick second. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Oh, there you go. Let's actually go to John, because you mentioned it, right, my brother Lamar? John 1. Thank you for bearing with me, you guys. But let's actually read it. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and you guys, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Please pay attention, y'all. Because this one gets really deep. I was watching the show Chosen. I don't know if you guys ever seen that show, but it's a very good show. It's not accurate from the standpoint of how to depict the Hebrews, but I think it's a very good show nonetheless. And it beats, some of the raunchy stuff that's being shown on television nowadays. But there was the show Chosen, and they made a very beautiful correlation with John 1 and Genesis 1. And I don't know why it escaped me, why I never thought about it, but it makes perfect sense, right? So in Genesis 1, it says, "In the beginning." The only other chapter that starts that way is John 1. And look at what it says. It says, "In the beginning," what though? "Was the Word. And the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah." Now, why is that important? Because when you read Genesis 1, the Word that was spoken, what was the very first thing that the Most High said, y'all? Can y'all please put it in the chat? We read it earlier in the live. They said, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah." The very first thing that the Most High said in Genesis 1 was what? "Let there be light." There you go, Dream Radio. Let there be light. That was the very first thing. In other words, and that was literally Yeshua. I want you guys to understand how beautiful that is. Because the very first thing that the Most High spoke was, "Let there be light." I don't know what is this infatuation with people and darkness. Mom Clay, "Let there be light." Thank you. I don't know what is this obsession with people and the darkness. The very first thing that the Most High said is, "Let there be light." And that word was Yeshua. Yeshua was the light. And we're going to prove it even more so. The same was the beginning with Yah. All things were made by him, the Word, you guys. And without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. You see, the people that's in darkness, they're not going to understand this. They're not going to understand it. They're not going to understand it, y'all. And then let's keep going. They said there was a man sent from Yah whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of what? The light, which was Jesus, Yah, that all men through him might believe. he was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. So they're talking about John the Baptist, right? Let me see if I could go down. Because there's a part that's so beautiful. If it's there, I might be thinking about something else. Let me see if I can find it. Really? Oh, wow. Maybe let me try looking up in Google. Please bear with me real quick. So where is that? John 3, there you go. John 3, verse 19. And let's actually read it in context. Right? Let's actually read it in context. Read the full chapter. John 3. And let's see if we can find something important here. Now let's read this. Start from 16. For Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, the word, right? The word, right? Which we also know was also the light of the world. So he gave his son, whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For Yah sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth in him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yah. And this is the condemnation. Check this out. And this is the condemnation, that the light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Almost like that thief that was overtaken by the day. You see, they're going to keep operating in darkness because they're going to be covered in the darkness. But if they come into the light, their deeds are going to be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in Yah. You get what I'm saying, guys? Isn't that beautiful? How we are children of light. Let there be light. Look, let me end off. There was another verse. Matter of fact, there's two verses. I'm gonna end off with two verses, all right, you guys? Two verses. Just bear with me as I find them for you. I'm looking in my notes right now. Just bear with me. Bear with me. There you go, Isaiah. All right. Thank you very much for those of you who are sticking around. I really do appreciate it. But let's get it. Let's go to Isaiah, and then we're going to go to verse 60. Okay, verse 60. And we're going to go to verse 19. Verse 19. All right. The sun shall be no more thy light by day. Now, you guys, this is so crazy. I want you guys to understand. Remember in the live when I told you guys that there is a light that exists outside of the sun? Remember, the light was created on the first day. The sun doesn't come until the fourth day. Till the fourth day. So in other words, there is a light that exists, and mind you, there is a light that not only exists, but it is called day before the sun is even in action. All right. So when we're reading this, I want you to understand that as much as the sun is a sign, we don't really even need the sun. It's the light that's in the world. And we understand that light. We read it in John 1. It said the light of the world is who? The light of the world is Jesus. And then here's what takes place, right? Because when we read Isaiah 60 verse 19, it says, the sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for the brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But what? But Yahweh himself shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and that glory, and that Elohim, that glory. Do you see that? And Elohim, that glory. And then here, we're going to land the plane with this verse right here, Revelations 22. We're going to land the plane with Revelations 22, and we're going to read verse 5. And there shall be no night there. So you guys, check this out. There's gonna be, so in the kingdom, this is the last chapter. This is Revelation 22. In the kingdom, they said, for all the people that are, so infatuated with night, the night comes first, the night comes, look, in the kingdom, they said there's not gonna be no night. No night. Let's go. Let's read it. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun. And we know there's going to be no light of the sun. Why, guys? Because in Exodus 60, they said the sun is not going to give forth the light. But what happens? For Yahweh Elohim giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Yahweh himself, you see, this is what I'm saying. When Yahweh said, let there be light, you got to understand how spiritually powerful that is, because he literally gave you himself. You see, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. When Yahweh spoke, he literally gave you himself. He gave you light, which was Christ himself. You guys, we are children of the light. We are children of Messiah, all right? So let's just stick to the light. You guys, I literally had a phone call, and it's literally around my time. I didn't think this live was going to last this long, but this is, again, this should be overwhelming proof. I'll probably come out here and make another video because, again, there is a slight alteration, to the calendar as a result. And from my understanding, it's still the same because the beginning of month is still the moon. However, the day portion is when the actual day begins. So rather than it, if I recall, rather than it being, the evening and the morning, as I did it in times past, it actually precedes it. So I believe the days are actually the same. However, the commencing of certain feasts would have to start, I believe, 12 hours earlier, because we were accounting it as the evening, but it starts on the day. So again, it's very minuscule, but again, I want to do that just so that for integrity's sake, I actually present things as logical and clear, concise as possible. But again, it's only going to be a 12-hour shift earlier because the day is when some of these feasts start and not the evening. All right, you guys, except for when it comes to Passover and when it comes to Day of Atonement, those actually start at evening. Okay. You guys, I would love for people to, try their best to debunk what I'm bringing forth today. But I think this was so overwhelmingly clear. I would find it very hard pressed. But if anybody has any type of questions or a way to debunk what I'm bringing forth, I don't mind it. You guys say put it in the comment section or produce a video. But I think it's very clear, you guys, that that we are children of the light. We are children of the day, y'all. We start our work in the day. The 24-hour cycle starts in the day. It does not start at midnight like the world says, and it doesn't start at evening as those who stole our culture would try to have you to believe. No, it starts in the day. All right. There is no darkness before a Sabbath. There is no darkness before any start of a day. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There's no darkness before the evening is what I really should say. There is a darkness before the day. That's the previous day, right? Or the previous 24 hours cycle. But anyway, you guys, I really do appreciate you guys. Shibu, thank you for bringing out the truth. Bless you dearly. Sister Shay, bless you for your labor. I love Brother Nick. Bless you. Yes, blessings. Bless you, Brother House of Lamar. Y'all, daughter, thank you, and bless you, Brother Nick. Bless you as well. And yeah, blue collar scholar, good job. Hey, bless you. I appreciate every single one of you. Love you all very much. And with that being said, Nick over and out. The message sent. Jesus is King, y'all. Let me get up out of here.
Lift them up and give it praise. 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 We lift them up and give it praise. Lift them up and give it praise. We lift them up and give him. We lift them up and give him. Yahweh, Yahweh, higher, higher, oh Yahweh. We lifting you higher, 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 oh Yahweh. We lifting you higher, higher. Shout for Yah on the earth. Sing Yahweh with gladness. Come before His presence with singing. Know Yah, He is down. He has made us. We are His people and the sheep of His pasture. Enter His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him, bless His holy name. For Yahweh is good, His love and commitment is everlasting, and His truth to all generations. Enter His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him, bless His holy name. For Yahweh is good, His love and commitment is everlasting, and His truth to all generations. Enter His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. Thanks to Him, bless His holy name. For Yahweh is good, His love and commitment is everlasting, and His truth to all generations. Enter His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. Thanks to Him, bless His holy name. For Yahweh is good, His love and commitment is everlasting, and His truth to all generations.